I can't see him. Mr. Hewley, count 1, felony murder. I sentence you to life without possibility of parole. Count 2, violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 1. Count 3, violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 2. Count 10, hijacking a motor vehicle. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 3. Count 11, violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 10. Count 12, violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 11. Count 13, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. I sentence you to 5 years consecutive to count 12. Count 14, violation of Street Gang Terrorism Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 13. Count 15, violation of Street Gang Terrorism and Prevention Act. I sentence you to 20 years consecutive to count 14.
Dang. This is the part nobody wants to talk about. That's what's waiting for you right there. No more home-cooked meals, no more fucking these bad bitches, no more nothing. Just forget about it, hang it up. Your life is confined to an 8x10. You're not playing with motherfuckers, for real. Think twice before you do a crime, man, for real.
I think about praises to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua, Rakwakidah, salutations to the elders, the apostles, bishops, the brothers who labor in the truth, and to you sincere sisters who are humbling themselves, learning in silence, loving the Lord, loving yourself, loving your children, taking care of the home, taking care of your husband, and most importantly, loving Yahweh, Bashim, Yahushua. We just seen a small clip, and we see our black men being destroyed by the system, but also you destroy yourself in the process, because these curses are real and it's upon us, man. And we see these young brother, going through it, even if he's not guilty of those crimes, but just by the association, the conspiracy of you being there with people, man, it gives a notion that you're just as guilty, and there's nothing you can do, man. Once you run away, you can't run away from this. You gotta take it on the chin, because every day that you sit in that cell, you're gonna think about the things that you're like, I should never did that. I should never been in the car with this person. That's why I always tell people, man, stop shacking up with people and going in a group of people, man. Sometimes, especially if you know how they moving, if they moving real dangerous, moving real arrogant, moving real cocky, moving real, careless, man. And then you get involved with that type of life, with those type of people, what you think is going to happen? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the situation can unfold and turn ugly for you. That's why it's not good to always go with people in a group, because you never know what people in a group got on them. They got guns, drugs. You don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if they have a murder weapon that they just use, or some kind of, you don't know what they got on them, man. You know what I'm saying? And once you go down, they don't care how good of a person you are. You going down because of conspiracy, man. Guilty of association. And that's just how it goes. Okay? And you Jake, you young Jake, you gonna learn your lesson, man. You gonna learn, man. You're going to learn the hard way, man. I'm telling you, man. And you learning the hard way is going to get you into trouble, man. People don't care about your well-being or your freedom, man. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushua had told us this already. He had his prophets to tell us from before, and now we're telling you of today. It's not worth going to jail and losing your life and your freedom. Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the one and only that can deliver us from the madness and the wickedness that's on this planet, man. And we cannot be afraid of the evil, man. We got to stand up for the good, even if it take our life. But you want to make sure that you're doing things the right way and the honorable way. This is not the way of life, man. This is not a way a man should behave or act. You know what I mean? Or act. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of people going through this hardship, going through this inflictions, man, you know. All right, so let me read this. This is Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled you. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil you and none saveth or restore. So all of y'all are in snares and holes, and all of y'all in prison houses. They are for a prey and none delivers. You're there for to be preyed on, man. Because when you go to prison, there's only two things, man. It's being a predator or a prey. Shit can get real predatory, or shit can be real demonizing for you to act on violence, because that's the only way you're gonna get respected in prison. They only respect violence, man. And that violence is respect. Because that means that you care about other men behavior, whether it's right or wrong. So when you're living in a confined place like that, you know, either you're gonna respect men, or men just gonna put you down. That's the bottom line. So you young brothers, man, leave the streets alone, man. Leave the streets alone, man. You know what I'm saying? If you're on the right path of doing something positive, man, make sure you're always thanking the Lord for all the days of your life that you're in a situation to do good, man. Don't go to prison. Don't go to these jails. Don't go. It's nothing but heartache, pain, affliction. And why would you want to start late to go to jail when all this time when you was out, when you was young and early, you know what I'm saying? If it's not your fault. Because sometimes these police officers are dirty out here. And a lot of these motherfucking detectives, they are very, very dirty, man. That's Esau. Esau got to have someone to fit that damn bill. That's why I stay out the fucking way, so that they don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying? And these are just the curses, man. You know, sometimes people go through this, man, because of our rebelliousness, man. Maybe somewhere down the line of your bloodline, maybe your family did something wrong. Okay? You know? And just being with the wrong crowd, man. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes when you get locked up, now you gotta hold it down. Cause if you snitch, that means you snitch on your codeine. You snitch on your codeine. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to do that, because now they got the paperwork. Now they looking at you as a rat, and now you're gonna get bombed. You're gonna get twisted in there, man. No help, no mama, no father, no uncle, no auntie, none of that shit, man. Nobody can deliver you from that fate. Just like how that young man, Khalid Browder, he lost his life because of a traumatization, man. PTSD, man. He committed suicide because of the trauma and the pain and affliction. He has to go at night and sleep, and then that's all that shit is played in his mind. How can a man sleep like that, knowing that he came from innocence, and now he's coming out not being innocent? You know what I'm saying? Stole his rightful mind, and hell was replaced in the sight of his vision and his thoughts. So now, in order for him to get out of it, he gotta repent, because the curses are on his bloodline and his family. People don't believe that, man. People don't understand that these things happen not just because it's a reason, man. It's spiritual, man. You know, but I'm not gonna make the video short. So, our young men, man, we gotta do a better job, man. Older brothers gotta do a better job, man, for keeping these young men in line. But a lot of you women, you want to rob men for being there for these men, these young men, for their sons. This is the result of when you want to rob and steal men from their. You want to rob your child from having the proper etiquette of life, how to be a man. You cannot raise a man, okay? You cannot raise a man. A man needs to raise a young boy to become a man. And that's very, very important in his life, man. Okay? A man teaches a daughter and a son to be in order. If a young girl is not being taught the proper way or not respecting boundaries, and nobody don't check on it, she will continue to do that all the days of life. Or if she do not change, two things can happen. Either someone gonna put her to death, or either someone gonna put her to death, or God is gonna just make her life a miserable hell, man. So we got to start from scratch. The root of it, a man needs to be there in a child's life. If you are not with your child's father, it's your fault. You have robbed your child from having a loving home. You chose bad activity. You chose the wrong thing. When a woman chooses a bad man, right, and people see it, and you keep a child, and then now so you want to complain, people look at you like this is not a person that's trustworthy of choosing. I'm telling you, whether you accept it or not, or if you take accountability for it, and you don't have no more children, and then or you have a child by another man that's more honorable, you should have did that in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Don't make these mistakes in the beginning. Listen to your mother and your father that's telling you the right way. You have to make better decisions. Look at your father, how he is. If your father's a good man, spiritual man, especially if he's called by the name of the Lord, okay? He's called in his ministry, by the name of the Lord, and he's doing the right thing, okay? Then you, as a young lady, you should say, man, I gotta pick a man that's about respect, honor. He dressed well. He take care of himself. He's not like my dad, but he reminds me of my dad. These are the things that you got to take heed of, man. It's very important, okay? If your mama is a right woman and she's good and she's loving, kind, sweet, that's the kind of woman that you want. You don't want a woman that has so many problems and then it keep going and going and going and going and going. It's always a problem because it's not suitable for her need. So when you don't have these things in plan and order, there's not Yahweh's not in their life, what's going to happen is you're going to have miscellaneous problems after problem after problem after problem. So what you're going to do is you're going to keep making those same mistakes as your mother or your so-called father, man. You're going to make these same type of mistakes. You don't want to make these mistakes. You want to get better. If your mother and father's in the right place and they have God in their life, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to look for someone with the proper etiquette of life, okay? You don't want to get someone that's opposite far as they disrespectful, and they don't. That's not the way of life, man. Man's job is supposed to raise a son how to become a man, a protector and provider, and how to live according to the laws of the Lord, man, keeping the commandments and how to be upright, okay? A man will teach his daughter how to respect herself and not to wear provocative clothing, to respect herself, and she's supposed to know how to treat people when she come out here in the public. So if you young ladies go against that grain, you won't follow your friends gonna get you killed or in jail. It's only two ways, man, out of this planet. It's only one way, jail. It's only one way out of this planet is death. But then you lock yourself up. in prison, mentally and and physically, because you can't get out of it. And spiritually, you bound. But if your spirit is, the only thing that keep you alive and abound in these systems is you making your spirit strong in the name of the Lord, man. And Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. That's it. So with that being said, man, I hope this video is edifying, man. I'm not gonna make this long, man. Yo, don't go to prison, man. It's not a place you want to go, man. You want to get the eternal life, man. You want to get into the gates of the Lord, man. All right, you want to get into His gates. You don't want to settle for less. So with that being said, man, shalom.